Hi, yes. So the two big ones in Swaleside were that, and then you get civilian workers who also get themselves in bother. I remember early doors when I arrived in Swaleside, a woman that worked in education as a teacher, she got caught. She was having some kind of dalliance with a guy in the prison. She got caught bringing a phone in, and this is 2005. Phones were relatively rare in prisons at that stage, and especially in Swaleside, it's a BCAT security. In the 4 years I was there, I knew a handful of people that had phones, and they were ridiculous money. An analog phone in Swaleside back then would maybe cost you in the region of, I remember one of my friends paying 1,500 quid for a tiny little thing that you had to use a stick. It was so small you had to use a stick to press the numbers on the to dial a number. 1,500 quid. It probably cost 50 quid outside, but supply and demand, I guess. So there was that one. I can't think of any big other ones in Swaleside. They're probably worse. Well, they will have been, and they will probably come to mind, but I can't off the top of my head. So after Swaleside, I moved to Maidstone, and yeah, not a bent screw, but a bent civilian worker, and me and a friend were the beneficiaries of that. It wasn't drugs, although he did try to get us involved with drugs, but there was never a chance that that was happening. Actually, that story's in the book, so I'm probably gonna just tease you with that and leave it there. There is more. I mean, and I will come to it. I might as well just crack on with these things and go through pretty much the whole lot, which is 17 years worth. But for now, I'm just gonna talk about my meeting with my son yesterday evening, which was really good. I really, yeah, it cheered me up. Progress, that's what it's all about. So we met up. He had his chaperone, whatever you want to call it. I know the guy. I said hello, we shook hands, he left us alone. We were in a social club, and my son has recently got into playing snooker and pool, so we had a few games. He beat me at snooker, and he deserved to win. He did all right, and he's only 11. It's hard to, certain shots on a snooker table, you need a step ladder at that age, but he did okay, and it was enjoyable. The pool, I used to be a little bit handy at pool. My parents had pubs and hotels, so I was playing a lot of pool as a youngster, and probably into my sort of late teens, I guess. So, and the thing is, I didn't want to patronize my son by letting him win, so I may not have tried quite as hard as I could have, but I tried hard enough, and we had a lot of fun, and it was good. His mum turned up with his half brother, who again I haven't seen for 10 years. It was civil. We didn't speak much, but I did in the end go out of my way to just make it clear that I'm not there for any dramas. I just want to see my son, and I want him to be happy, and in order to be happy, everyone around him has to be on the same page. So I said, and I meant it, that I'm gonna just have to let the past be the past. I strongly disagree with the treatment I got, and I know the treatment I got was, I mean, look, I'm not even going to talk about it, because I've got no issue anymore, and let's all just move on and get on with our lives. As many of you have said to me in the past, don't look back, you're not going that way. So that's probably an appropriate way to approach it all. I'm going to see my son again next week. He wants KFC, he will have KFC, and my daughter is also going to come along, and she really wants to see her brother. She hasn't seen him for 10 years. I know that my son is interested in seeing his sister as well. And obviously, look, I spent 2 or 3 hours just gauging him. I wasn't staring at him. I didn't make him, I'm sure he didn't even notice, but I just was looking at little things, see what his personality's like. And it was positive. He strikes me as a really nice, well-grounded young man, and of course I have to acknowledge that his mum has played a huge part in that over the years that I haven't been around. And so whatever I think of my treatment in the past, I'm aware that his mum has done and is doing a good job. So yeah, but it was just lovely to be with him. You know, the best thing, it was getting to the sort of time where I was thinking about making a move. I had to get back. I still had work to do, admin work. So I left probably around about 7:30, and in the last 15 minutes, he walked up to me and he just put his arms around me, and he didn't let go. He buried his head in my chest, and he didn't let go. And I told him a few things. I told him a few truths and positive things, and I told him that I love him, and that I love both my children. I worship them, as we all do, I think, but my children, I feel in my head that I'm just that bit more invested, and it's all to do with being adopted. You know, my children are the only blood relatives I've ever known in my life. So if you add that to just the fact that they are my children, you can probably get a gist of how important it is to me, because you have to have love for your children, but also there's something important in all of it for me, and it's why I put them in a whole different stratosphere to anybody and everybody else. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to mollycoddle or be biased in any way. The thing is, and my daughter would confirm this, I let them live their lives, and I'm there when they need me, but I'm not there to tell them how to live their lives. I don't really believe in that. Obviously, if I feel that they're making a grave error in judgment with something, then I may speak to them about it, but it'll be in the right way. It'll be from a level playing field. You know, we all make our own way in life. I've made billions of my mistakes of my own, as you all know, so I don't feel qualified to tell anyone else how to live their life. Although, like I say, when my daughter comes to me for advice and opinions, she gets it. But I will never say, this is what you should do. I'm not about that. But that couple of minutes where my son, off his own back, just came and held on to me, it was very, very special. And the bottom lip may have wobbled a little bit. I'll be back.